From O'Donnell Field in Cambridge, Massachusetts, this is Ivy League Baseball. It's the beginning of a weekend 3-game series between the Brown Bears and the Harvard Crimson, two historic programs that have battled for over 150 years. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, he's Louis Sanchez. I'm Andrew McCarthy here on NESN. Thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. And Louis, it's been 19 games for the Harvard Crimson, but they're finally back home.
Yeah, something about the home cooking, the home routine, right? And they're going against a really good Brown team that's top in the Ivy right now. So everything coming together for the home opener for the Harvard Crimson.
Like you said it, Louis, the Brown Bears come into today first place in the Ivy League standings. They're led by a deep hitting core and two-time first-team All-Ivy League honoree, Mika Peterson.
Yeah, the senior from Stamford, Connecticut, a lefty outfielder, 6 hits, 3 RBIs, including a home run and a double in that 3-game series against Princeton. He was outstanding. Look for the bats to keep going for this Brown team. They swept the Tigers and try to keep that going here in Ivy League play this weekend against the Crimson.
The Crimson have a tall task ahead of them, but if starting shortstop Jack Rickheim can replicate his success against Cornell, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, he was 7 of 16 in that series against Cornell. 3 doubles, 3 home runs, including 2 home runs in Game 3. That also added 5 RBIs and a 16-3 win for the Crimson. He leads the team in hits and batting average, so look for him to keep that hot streak going in Ivy League play.
We've got an Ancient 8 rivalry in New England, Brown versus Harvard, coming your way next on NESN. It's a snowy Saturday evening here on the campus of Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, as we bring you inside the Malkin Athletic Center for some men's volleyball action between the host team, the Harvard Crimson, up against the heavyweight, the number 8th ranked BYU Cougars. Andrew McCarthy alongside Ben Altscher here in the broadcast booth. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. And Ben, both these teams walking away with W's yesterday, both in straight sets, trying to perfect their weekend here. Harvard a bit of an underdog. Who do they got to look for here to get the W tonight?
Well, I think Harvard was able to sort of unlock something in their victory over Merrimack yesterday, which is the efficiency of the middles in the offensive attack for the Crimson. Owen Wolbert came through with a good finishing kick for the Crimson, finished with 8 kills yesterday, but had a number of them in a tight third set to allow Harvard to be able to close that one in 3 sets. If they can look his way and Brian Thomas's way, it's going to require good passing, but it allows Harvard to expand their offense.
On the BYU side of things, let's take a look at their star setter, the senior from Darien, Connecticut, Tyler Herget. What have you got on him?
What I like so much about Herget is the way he conducts the offense, really spreads it out, gets everybody involved early and often, gets all his hitters into a rhythm, and his defense might be his best quality. 9 digs yesterday. Very tough when you hit at him to sort of get that BYU offense out of rhythm.
Let's take a look at some of these key stats between these two teams, and you're going to see just the reason why BYU is ranked number 8th. It's that blocks per set stat. The Cougars averaging nearly 3 blocks per set, and that is 3rd best in the NCAA, Ben.
And no surprise, like a lot of the other Western teams, BYU big all the way across the front line. They jump out of the gym, and so Harvard's going to have to figure out a way around or just going to have to go through that block to get a victory tonight.
Going to be a real interesting matchup between the Harvard Crimson and the BYU Cougars. Let's head down to the floor to see what action is in store tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome to Stoughtonburg Gymnasium on the campus of St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire. We got some NE10 women's basketball action for you today between the visiting Greyhounds of Assumption University and the St. Anselm College Hawks. Alongside Chris Kostic, I am Andrew McCarthy. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. The visiting Greyhounds, Chris, they're on a bit of a skid. They started 11-1 in their first 12 games, but recently have taken a bit of a dip in the NE10 standings, losing their last 3. Meanwhile, the Hawks, on the other hand, ever since the New Year turnaround, they haven't been able to really get things going. They've been stuck in neutral for a little bit. They're 2-2 in their last 4. What do they got to do to get back in the win column?
Well, they just got to shoot a little bit better, and they got the factors to do that. Of course, you have Tatum Forbes that's distributing the ball at an all-time clip, 5 assists per game, 16.5 points per game as well. You got to rely a lot on the supporting cast, though. Megan Trapper's been a really good shooter. Same with Elise McNair. Just got to get more production everywhere in general. And on the Assumption side, it's pretty much the same thing offensively. This is a team that during this 3-game losing skid hasn't been able to get more than 55 points while also allowing more than 55 points in this 3-game stretch. So this is also a team that we've seen defensively can can be stout as well. First in the conference in scoring defense, 15th in the nation. So the defense is there. They just got to be more efficient on the offensive end, both sides.
Both teams in the middle of the pack of the NE10 standings. It's kind of anyone's game. It's a big mosh pit kind of in the middle. A conference that's dominated by Bentley over the last couple of years. Southern Connecticut State seems to be comfortably in second place, but in places 3 through roughly 7, it's basically anyone's game. Everyone was getting kind of a game and a half of each other. The sun is out, but it's a cold one here at Soldiers Field on the campus of Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts for an Ivy League softball matchup between the visiting Big Green of Dartmouth and the Harvard Crimson here on ESPN+. Good afternoon, everyone. Joined alongside by Sam Lebowitz, I am Andrew McCarthy. And Sam, it's been 23 games for the Crimson, but they're finally back home.
Yeah, they are, and they opened conference play with a series win last week against Yale and hoping to continue the vibes. On a cold day here, you kind of hope that by the time you return home and start the home schedule for these teams in the Northeast, it's a little warmer than 36 and sunny, but still, we'll see what kind of home cooking we've got today.
The Dartmouth Big Green looking to spoil the Crimson home opener on the back of Fabi Cerna, who had a remarkable Sunday in Philadelphia. Sam.
Yeah, a 14-0 win to salvage that series against Penn, which has been huge for their offense, which has struggled for the most part this year. She was a big reason why they had that big breakout game. Hitting for the cycle, driving in 6 runs. It's a lot, and it's a reason why we're going to keep an eye on her today.
And on the Crimson side of things, they have Nicolette Hunter, who not only leads the Ivy League in ERA, but has recently been getting it done in the batter's box.
Yeah, she just keeps getting better on both sides of the ball. Hadn't homered in her collegiate career before last weekend. She did it in back-to-back games last weekend, including the only run of a 1-0 performance on Sunday. She's on the circle today, and we're going to keep an eye on her as well.
The Harvard home opener here on Soldiers Field in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Back on ESPN Plus after that.
On the campus of Herkimer Community College, it's the Northern Essex Knights of Haverhill, Massachusetts, taking on the Dallas Richland Thunderducks of Dallas, Texas. Good evening, everyone. Rich Rosa, joined by Andrew McCarthy. And Andrew, what a tournament it has been. These two teams have been on fire. Northern Essex, the best offense in this tournament, taking on the best defense in the tournament, Dallas Richland.
We've had some long reviews. We've had some game-winning shots. We've had a power outage. It was Friday the 13th yesterday. Anything and everything has already happened in this tournament, and it all comes down to today. It's the number 1 seed Northern Essex Knights, a team that has averaged 93.5 points per game in this tournament. They shoot over 45% from the field. They are the best offense in the country. They've been the best in this tournament, and they have a chance to go up against the best defense we've seen in this tournament, the Dallas Richland Thunderducks, the number 10 seed. They had to fight in the first round of just make it to the quarterfinals, whereas the Knights had a first-round bye. The Thunderducks defense has been lights out all tournament long. They've held each of their opponents to under 65 points in each game, and with their 2-3 zone, they out-rebound each and every one of their opponents over their last 3 games.
Northern Essex, the number 1 seed in the tournament for the first time in program history, and today they have a shot at their first national title.
They've never been here before. This is a whole new experience to them and head coach Darren Stratton in his 23rd season, finally looking to get some much-needed hardware in the trophy case in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Dallas Richland, they've been here before, but it's been a long time since they won a title, 11 years. They're led by head coach John Havens, who was part of that championship squad in 2015. And all the talk this week has been about getting back to this game after losing in the semifinals last year and taking home 3rd place.
It's been 11 long years. It's been since 2015, but head coach John Havens has been here before, and he's going to instill confidence in his guys to get the job done.